I have a fun subject.
Okay.
That I've been wanting to broach for weeks.
Okay.
Are we ready to move on?
Yeah. I've gotten everything off my chest.
What is your...
I'm sorry, I was reading my notes and I saw wig arms and it brought me back to hair. Continue.
I have such a weird fascination with like intermediate enemies in anime.
Like the stepping stones.
Like the stepping stone anime enemies. Yeah. Like, for example, like your Zarbons from Dragon Ball.
I love that we're back on Zarbon.
Love Zarbon.
Hell yeah.
Big crocodile looking man. Starts off as a pretty boy, turns into an alligator. I love your Zarbons.
We love that. We love a reverse frog and the princess situation.
I love your like hidden sound village ninjas.
The Sound Village 4.
The Sound Village 4.
They kind of were the big enemies of the Sasuke retrieval arc.
Like, nar.
I guess like nar.
Nar. In the beginning
was kind of the biggest enemy.
Wait, I'm talking about who's the guy with the... Yeah, well, because it becomes... You're right. It changes, but in the beginning, who's the group that Sasuke breaks the fucking arms of?
Oh,
like those
yes.
guys.
Those
and
are,
then Choji turns big, so he doesn't have to hear the guy, and the guy like sends out like that shit.
Yeah, the ones that Shino fills his armholes with bugs.
Yeah,
and then in the manga, his arms
they
blow
explode.
off.
They 100% explode.
Fall off his body.
Yeah, really intense.
Sick. I love
I'm
Shino.
talking those guys. I'm talking fucking Six Arms from Demon Slayer.
Katana Man and Chainsaw Man.
But he's like the lead antagonist.
Technically,
of
the
season
arc
one.
is called the Katana Man arc, but
that's not like
he's a stepping stone to the greater enemies of the Chainsaw Man universe.
I suppose so, but yeah, that's not like so much of like I'd even argue, the flute girl and like those guys. Yeah, are
that's
like
the Sound Village 4.
Yeah, the Sound Village 4, like those are like no one's ever bringing them up in the conversation of like anything really.
I guess I was actually at some point. I probably like when I run out of content, I am gonna do like a breakdown on the Sound Village 4. But yes,
nice. But like, I mean, my qualification: if the anime became a video game, these enemies wouldn't be in it. They wouldn't show up as
Sound Village
playable
4
characters.
are in Ninja Storm.
No.
Yes.
No.
For 1000% sure they are
you
in.
can't, not as like playable. They're like assists.
Absolutely 1000% sure they are in. Yes. Yep.
I'm
my
pretty
right hand to
positive
God,
they're
they are
not.
at least Storm 3.
Go on.
Who's
Who's your favorite stepping stone villain? As I look this nonsense up,
I mean, like
the
perfect example of the stepping stone villain is like Victor Zsasz. DC. Batman.
Yeah, I know Zaz.
Yeah, it's Victor Zsasz. He's the guy that you punch to get information about where the Joker's like dirty bomb is.
Right.
So you have an obsession with them. Why are we talking about your obsession with intermediary enemies?
There's no reason. I just want to ask you why, like, who your favorite of those are.
Oh, my favorite
like,
amongst like stepping stone enemies?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, they're DLC, you bitch.
In Storm 3?
In Storm 4.
Okay, yeah, in Storm 4, but they're for sure in Storm 3. I know because Jirobu was like weirdly good in Storm 3. It was kind of meta.
Maybe.
I
was generations and on, but go on.
Intermediary enemies.
I feel like One Piece is full of them.
One Piece is full of them. I would say that Buggy is kind of an intermediary. Like he gets you close. The problem is every arc has its own enemy. Mm-hmm. And like I would say like Caesar Clown was like the Punk Hazard final enemy. The Yeti Cool Brothers in Punk Hazard were pretty cool.
Yeti Cool
Yeah, it's
Brothers.
like two Yetis that are twins and they work together and they're huge. One Piece is actually chock full of them. Like there's so many.
I would even call, who's the big hippo guy in Chopper's arc? Where he like, his mouth gets huge.
I don't remember.
Exactly.
So far back.
That's the criteria.
Yeah.
You don't remember. Like,
so that's why it's a tough question. Like who is your favorite stepping stone enemy?
Who's an enemy where you're like, man, they had more potential. Like Kimimaro comes to mind.
Kimimaro is not really a step because he's kind of like,
he's like hardly in it.
Well, all of them are stepping stones for Naruto to battle against Sasuke.
Right.
But Kimimaro not a stepping stone enemy for Gaara and Lee. Like the only reason that he doesn't kill Gaara and Lee is because he dies.
Well, I don't mean like it doesn't have to be like a narrative thing where it's like, oh, what's an enemy that like they learned from? I mean like an enemy where you're like, man, this dude's design is sick, his power is sick, but he's only in like 4 episodes.
Honestly, like a lot of the Akatsuki. If
yeah.
you like
big Flytrap Man is like that. He's like
Zetsu?
Yeah. Isn't he like hardly in it?
Literally the final bad guy.
Oh, interesting.
Literally kills Madara.
Oh,
brings Kaguya back to life. Is the manifestation of Kaguya's will. Did you not finish Naruto?
No,
you
not
didn't.
Shippuden.
How far did you make it into Shippuden?
I just know that guy's not in the games.
Zetsu is in the games.
Not in Storm 4.
Yes, he is.
No, you can't play him.
You cannot gaslight. Zetsu is absolutely in Storm 4.
I promise you. I am like the fighting game aficionado here. What's the new Dragon Ball game coming out called?
Benkai Tenkaichi.
Stop saying Benkai.
Benkai Tenkaichi.
No.
4.
I promise he can't be him. You know who else kind of almost counts? Zabuza a little. He does have his own arc, but it's like that's like the tutorial
Haku
arc.
Is the stepping stone enemy to Zabuza.
I would say so. I would agree.
But then again, Haku is the person that Naruto and Sasuke have to battle again. Right. But they do have to kill Haku to get to Zabuza.
But that's what I mean. Like an entry level kind of.
I know we're just focusing on Naruto, but like that's just like there's so many in Naruto. I'm trying to think of like the one from Hunter x Hunter. Like who Hunter x Hunter's stepping stone enemy would be. And it'd probably something like the Mafia Dons in like the York New arc or something like that. And then like the Phantom Troop were the real bad guys the whole time.
Right.
Oh, yeah, like lower level Chimera Ants. That's probably it. Like the Chimera Ant like admirals, but not like Meruem in the Royal Guard is also a really good example. Yeah. That's a great question. Yeah, tough though. Tough answer because you're like, who's your favorite non-memorable character?
Yeah, exactly. You know what a good Avatar one is? You remember Combustion Man?
Bender. Yeah. I love that our brains went the same way.
Yeah, because he's sick. He comes in looking like a Full Metal Alchemist character.
Yep.
Like metal arm, metal leg. What?
No, I'm just thinking like a Full Metal Alchemist examples would be like Scar or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he comes in shooting fucking like an anti-tank missile out of his head.
Yep. Did they kill him?
They kill him.
How do they kill him?
Sokka kills him.
How? With the boomerang?
Either Sokka or Toph.
I know they killed him in Korra.
I think they super kill him.
Toph's daughter kills him, right?
I think Toph shoots a... Well, I want to say Sokka's boomerang does it, but I think Toph shoots a little rock at his thing, and it fucks it up, and so he blows himself up.
That's what it is,
yeah.
You would think that, like, hey, we need to shoot explosions. You think you wouldn't focus on the brain. Yeah. Like, hey, we need to shoot explosions from some part of our body, and it's like, hey, Tony Stark, I think, had it right.
I don't
with, like,
think they choose. I'd be more into it coming out his mouth. I love like a Kappa gun, like just a laser coming out of a mouth.
Kappa gun?
That's Nappa's ultimate move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or Kappa beam or something.
Yeah. And then he gets killed by Vegeta. Yeah. Like a bitch.
Yeah.
He's also a playable character in Bunkai Kunichi.
He's also a good stop it.
He's a good stepping stone.
Dive over and strangle you.
You're gonna have to get across his Beyblade arena.
Nappa's great.
He's a good stepping stone enemy.
Yeah. He's sick.
Yeah.
He's real
I think he is the perfect example of a stepping stone enemy.
Yeah. I agree.
Like who would Frieza's arc stepping stone enemy
Zarbon.
Be? Zarbon, exactly.
The Ginyu Force.
The Ginyu Force, yeah.
Raccoon is like the Nappa sort of, where like Raccoon is weirdly strong. He's like better than all the others. And Dodoria. Frieza's like full of them. And then I guess Cell doesn't really... Oh, Cell's is Android...
Oh, Android,
the fat one.
15 through 17.
Well, 17 and 18 are like more like because they were in.
They run Vegeta's fade.
Yeah, like
it's crazy. They absolutely run Vegeta's fade.
The androids and Jiro like are a little better because like Toriyama originally intended them to be the antagonists of the arc. Oh, and then his editor was like, "Oh, look at that, something I know." All right.
One of them should be green with a tail.
Yeah, his editor was like, these aren't like intimidating. They're like two teenagers. And so he made Cell, and then he was like, well, this guy's gonna have another form, right? People loved Frieza's other forms. And then he was like, yeah, he's gonna have another form. And then he gives him his second form with the big lips.
And then they were like, hate that.
Yeah, his editor's like, well, this guy looks dumb as hell. And he's like, all right, well, good thing he has another form, because...
Like, I mean, Frieza's got like 6.
Yeah, like...
So every character in Dragon Ball has like 19 forms. But like, why don't you start like that? Start in your perfect form.
Where's that fucking editor now? Being like, hey, we need new forms. Like...
And they're like, no. Hair.
Colors.
Hair color. That's it. That's all we're doing. But at least with the superhero movie, Gohan got like super pointy hair. He got like original Vash hair from Trigun.
Yeah, but like that's why the androids aren't so bad. Like they feel like main antagonists, because they intentionally were.
Yeah.
But Android 15, I think, whatever the clown one is.
The white one. Yeah.
That guy's nothing. That guy's literally
Jiro,
like,
because he was like also partly an android. They just absolutely pieced him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who gets pieced is like
16 was a cool guy.
16 was cool.
He
and
just
he
like
lasted.
birds.
Yeah. And he becomes like an ally.
He was very clearly just Lenny. He was just Lenny.
He's very Lenny. He's very the Terminator.
I don't know if I see the Terminator.
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I guess he kind of was. Yeah, he was just like kind of like scanning things. Then he blew up in the end.
Yeah.
Kind of like Terminator 2.